Hello, my name is Chev Chiliosis, and today I'm going to show you how to do refraction in Assetto corsa using custom shaders patch. This video is intended for experienced modders who have used custom shaders patch, have an understanding of how normal maps work and what they are and how you can make them, so that's really useful. If you don't know how to make normal maps, but you're converting a car from, let's say, Forza Horizon 7 or something, no, Forza Horizon 3 or 4, all of those cars have normal maps, so you should be able to steal those and use those appropriately. Right off the bat, if you're doing a refraction on a clear glass like this headlight here, it's not going to work. You're going to need something with a bit more detail, as you can see here with all these ridges, as well as this fog light with all of these ridges and whatnot. This is a shitty diffuse map, but I do have a normal map for this. Another example of a normal map would be something like this. You're going to need it to be decently high res, but this is a 64 by 128 texture here, and then this is a 64 by 64 probably, something like that. And it's just tiled over a period of space, which you can see if we pull up the texture here. That's the texture, and I've just got it massive scaled so it tiles it close to the realistic thing. Same for those front lights, side marker lights, same sort of deal. That's the normal map, and that's the UV. So you just have to get it as close as you can to a little realistic thing. If you're doing a model like this chaser, where you just have to do it on your own. If you're doing a Forza car, generally it should be UV mapped. Same thing for the fog lights. So once you have got your normal maps and UV mapping sorted, I'm just waiting for Autodesk to fucking autosave. I'll just cancel it if I can. So yeah, the first thing you need to do is you need to get your normal maps mapped correctly, have it scaled, however it needs to be. The reason I have the normal map as the diffuse in max is so I can actually get a representation of where my normal maps are going. Why is this taking so long? But yeah, that's why I have it there, so I can see I can get an idea of what it's gonna look like in game, instead of just using the terrible normal map shader that 3ds Max has. I just put it on diffuse, make life simpler. Holy crap, this is taking forever. I think that's all I need to show you in here anyways. We'll just go over to KS editor. So we're just going to be doing fog lights for this example, but you will need to copy the object names and end up putting them in their corresponding spots, but we'll get to that later. So your shader, just make it plasticky or glass, whatever you're actually doing, so the face will have the correct reflection. The internal, you could make a custom UV map if you want to get a bit of orange or yellow, sort of replicate the color of your bulb reflecting. You have to paint that as a UV, or you can just, if you're doing like a solid orange, then you don't really need to do that. The colored background is usually used for clear lights. I don't really have a good example, but I guess for the tails you would use it there. But if you're doing like a clear side marker, right, but you have an orange bulb, the refraction, I don't know why, it's not the best thing in the world. It's quite ghetto. It's mainly designed for Caterhams. But anyways, let's not get bogged down with Caterhams. If you want to replicate the bulb being reflected in the actual housing itself, you will want to UV map the inner housing, just sort of paint the same color as the bulb around there, just to replicate that the orange is bouncing in there. But for simplicity, if you're just doing an orange, side marker light or a clear fog light, but the color's going to be fine. You know, you should be fine. Let's not complicate things. I just keep rambling. So yeah, for the fog, we're going to do fog light. All you need to do is diffuse. It can be whatever. It doesn't really matter unless you've got a detailed diffuse and you want to use that in your refraction. But to keep things simplistic, I just go null, or I put a similar color to whatever it could be. I could put the exterior glass here. It doesn't really matter. The most important thing is your normal map. You want to make sure you put that in there and make sure that you can at least see that it is somewhat working. As you can see, it is somewhat working. So it's configured, it's great, you know, save it, export it. Then we go over to fucking, we just go into the game and get your config open. I've got mine open here. Now I've already gone ahead and copy and pasted my refraction. You can steal it from a number of cars just as a base. First one off the top of my head is, what is it, the Kunos Alpha. There's some Alpha you can steal it off of. Quite a few of the cars. If you see, you just go into the, where is it? Extensions, config, cars, Kunos. Oh, even this Ferrari here, or this Mercedes. Just come in here, steal that, put it in your thing, and now we get to the part where we assign the objects to the corresponding spots. I'm just going to go to free cam and move over to our fog light so we can see what we're working on. Alright, so as you can see, we've only got 2 entries here, which is the side marker light and the rear tail, which I've just done before. But you're probably wondering, oh well, where's your fog light? If you've got it here but it's not showing up, well, we have to give it the proper names. So we need to grab the surface object, which is called this here. Actually, that might be a problem because there's a space there. I didn't think about this before, so we're going to use this instead. You can use this object inspector and get the names. Okay, well, let's see if this works. Okay, well, you just want to grab your object name. So obviously the surface is the one with the normal map, so the glass or whatever you want to call it. And now we grab the, what I call the Zinky fog cup, which is the inner housing of your lighting. Put that on the inside because it's where it is, and as you can already see, it's already working. Come over to our second entry, get rid of this. Okay, so we're going to use free cam. Now we want to drop down our positioning menu, and we'll see these 2 planes, this light blue one down here and this yellow one over here. This yellow one is the capturing of the objects, and this blue one is the mirroring of the objects. So where this line is the side that it is mirroring. So anything over here is getting mirrored to over here. If you want to have your yellow plane over here, you will need to rotate this 180 degrees so it'll mirror it correspondingly. But just for the simplicity of it, just leave the blue one the way it is. Try not to touch it, because sometimes you could have this overlapping that and you can click a thing and you fuck it up. So just try to keep that in mind and always position your gizmos away from that so you don't misclick anything. I think there should be like a toggle button over here that should just be like edit this or like lock it, like just a simple lock button. But these 2 bottom ones are for the mirroring, these top 2 ones are for the yellow one. So for positioning, and the radius is self-explanatory, but you just need to position it so it captures your lighting. Same thing with this, the massive line is what it will capture backwards and whatnot. I'm just going to rotate this if I can click the right one. Now you want to try to just keep this radius box as small as possible and just capture everything in it at the same time. And once you're happy with your capture, you've got everything inside of it, everything looks right, close it. Don't leave that open, because if you leave it open, you're going to click and you're going to fuck it up when you're trying to free cam around. So just close it, just get rid of it. Now we move on to setting up and making our normal map look nice. So, and changing colors and whatnot using the refraction. So anim share exterior, it changes the normal map of the exterior, so you get this normal map on the outside. I don't know what that would ever be used for, because if you go to a light on a car, it's not bumps on the outside. Well, generally speaking, it isn't, unless it's, I don't know, like a Hyundai or some shit. So I generally like to keep that in 0, because if you go to a headlight, it's smooth on the outside. Only on the inside is it all bumpy and whatnot, which is what we use the anim share INT, interior, or internal. And then IOR, you just slide shit around pretty much here until you get it looking how you want it. Yeah, takes 2 seconds to fuck around with this stuff. LED bias, fuck around with it, fine. This is just like the inside reflection of shit. Edge fall off. This is disgusting. I don't see how this is useful. I don't know why people even use it. I just put it on a really small number, like 0.10. But like, I really don't ever use that because it just looks kind of gross. We'll get to this stuff later. This is for the obvious, as it says right there, emissive. This is basically the emissive section. So we'll get to that later. This here, this little color wheel, this is so you can tint your glass and have it whatever color, slide it around, but it's a fog light. I'm going to put a bit of patina on this, try to make it look a little bit aged, just giving it a bit of yellowness, and then dragging up the absorption, which is basically like a translucent slider almost. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Probably don't want that much at all, really. I'll just make it clear. Just keep it simple. Turn this shit off. Alright. Diffuse map. If you had a diffuse map, you can overlay it using this slider here. If you want to change how much of this color is being filled in, it's right there. But I don't want any. Just keep it really fucking white, I guess. I might need to change my shader inside using these sliders here. Yeah, this stuff is really weird sometimes. Like, it gives you, like, it does like a large amount, then it does nothing. I don't know. It's very strange. Extra side thick, sometimes it does stuff, sometimes it doesn't. Once again, edge fall off, I don't like it. I think it's junk. Actually, I've just realized I need to add the oh, what the, is it turned on? Oh no, this is really bright. That kind of tripped me out. I need to add the little bulb guy in there. This little housing, if I can get it. Oh no, that's part of the same object. Wait, is it? I've no idea. That's really strange. But yeah, just to add another object into your inside, for example, you just put a comma, space, object name. That is, oh, cap. Okay. What you've just seen here is, since I hit save in this menu, I've just lost all of the settings over here because I didn't copy settings to clipboard before I save. So you will want to do that. Since I fucked up, we have to reposition everything. Speed run time. Okay, so once you've got it looking the way you want and you didn't make a mistake like me, let me just put these to default values. Okay, now you want to copy your settings to the clipboard before you ever hit save in the extension file. Paste it over your values, delete that, hit save, and now we're good. You know, we've got the refraction there, it's looking how we want. Maybe it isn't, might need to redo this normal map, but that doesn't affect this video here. So you get your refraction, it looks great, you're like, okay, how do I turn it on? You go to custom bulbs, check that mark there, and for simplicity I click the colored bulbs just so I can see it a little bit better in this entry here. I think this is already in the correct position, but you just want to line up this massive circle, which would be down here, and there's no reference there. Basically wherever your bulb is, you just want to put that where your bulb is. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Yeah. Colored bulbs is mainly used for indicators as well as multiple bulbs in the same housing. For example, if you had a headlight that had a Parker light or a low beam and a high beam, you would have one be the first channel here, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is used for indicators. You would use colored bulbs and you would tell the emissive, okay, channel 0 is the high beam, channel 1 is the low beam, and then it would turn on each bulb individually. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. So, you get your bulb, you've scoured it, you're like, okay, looks good here, fucking all the good shit, whatever. Now, to turn it on, we will grab this emissive setting, which is on one of the Mercedes or some shit. Yeah, this one here. Reference there. We will come up to our thing over here. Paste that in there. We will actually paste that above. Actually, no, we'll go below. Change that to 1. Put that as 2. Turn that off. So, the mesh. The mesh is not your bulb, like your 3D bulb. It is your surface object. You will put that as your mesh to tell it to glow. Hit save. You will see this thing channel. So this is at channel 1. This will not make our bulb glow. We need that to be channel 0 because it is in... Oh, I've just done it again, haven't I? I have just done it again. That's great. So it's in channel 0, right? It'll be channel 0. Okay, that's annoying. Oh, I need to get more sleep. Okay, yes, we've got our bulb. It's a colored bulb. It's channel 0. Now if we push our fog light button, oh my god, it works, but it's fucking bright. Yes, you can turn that down over here. And with this one as well. Change the bulb blur, how much it blurs inside, all that stuff. You can just mess around with it right there live. You can even adjust the positioning of the bulb. And that's how you make it glow. If you're wondering how to not use this method, you will have to use something like my brake light over here. Once again, the name, you just put the name of the surface object. It's very simple. I don't know how anyone could fuck up having their light turn on or off. It's like, it's so easy. I don't get it. So that's it. You just, the name of the emissive object is the same as the surface object of your refraction. Obviously, if you're using custom bulbs, channels, you would have to use the channels, which you can see I have 3 of these here, one for each technically bulb, because you can't just put them all together. You can't put a comma and slap them together. It doesn't work. For whatever reason, I'm not the developer, I'm just some retard on the internet. So yeah, you could even use this method of making it glow, but you know, it's up to you. For the indicators or turn signals, as far as I can tell, this is the best way to do it, the simplest way for me at least, because you just put that in there and then they both work left and right, and it's grey. And then obviously our fog lights are working fine. Obviously you can tweak the colour of the glowing just here where it says colour. Pretty simple. You know, you can change the heating if it casts on the ground, what it is, as long as custom shaders patch has it in this custom emissive thing. I don't really know. You know, you could put high beam and it might work. I don't know. It will be assigned to that key binding. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's the fog lights. Simple. Chimpanzee can do it. Alright, I hope this helped some of you peoples.